If you're finding yourself bored and you're finding yourself frustrated with work, just recognize that there's nothing wrong with the job. There's nothing wrong with you. What's actually happening is you're just receiving signals which are guiding you to awaken deeper to yourself. The emotions are a guiding mechanism, and somewhere there's an inner voice inside you trying to guide you back to your true nature. So if you're anything like me, I really just fell into the kind of work I did most of my life. I worked as a freelance motion graphic designer, and I never planned to do this work. I never aimed to get into it, it just sort of happened. So I went with it, and it paid the bills. But over the years, I gradually felt this deeper and more obvious sense of frustration and boredom in my day-to-day. I just wasn't feeling satisfied with how things were going. And so at first, obviously, I thought, okay, if I'm bored, I just need to learn how to focus more. If I'm frustrated, then I definitely need to just suppress it, basically, and just learn how to get on with the job. So what this actually created was a bubbling up underneath it all of a deeper and bigger sense of dissatisfaction and unfulfillment. The signals weren't going away. I was just feeling the emotions stronger. So when you're feeling frustrated, just recognize that this feeling of frustration is actually the feeling of being stuck between effort and outcome. And in these circumstances, when we're talking about working this way, what it actually means is all that effort you're putting into your work, all that effort into hitting deadlines, meeting client expectations, and all the detail and precision, all the care you put into what you do, yet the outcome being what you would expect: financial remuneration, some level of material success. It's exactly by the book, and it's exactly what you'd expect. But at the same time, the outcome that you're really desiring on a much deeper level is not being met. So with all that effort you're putting in, you're not feeling the sense of fulfillment that you crave so badly. So this frustration is really a sign that something isn't working, and you either need to change your approach or you need to change your expectations. And on a soul level, it's not an option to change your expectations, because your soul is going to want to feel fulfilled no matter what you try and tell it. So the only option you really have is to change your approach. And that's basically how you spend your time. For me, when I was sat there doing this work, it got to a point where I actually saw myself spending 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, sometimes more, sometimes less, sat in a chair looking at a plastic box. Because if you take away anything on the screen, if you look at just the physical reality of it, I was like, damn, that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting here and I'm staring at a box. That's how I'm spending my life. No wonder I don't feel a real sense of fulfillment here. And as soon as I made that reframe, there was really no going back. And the draw and the pull to go and do something more meaningful with my time just became overwhelming. And eventually these emotions of frustration and the boredom, they get too strong to ignore. So in terms of boredom, what that really is unused creative energy. So even if you have a creative job like I did, and at times I really enjoyed the creative aspects of it, it doesn't mean that your deep creative life force that wants to run through you, that isn't being really allowed the chance to create in the way it wants to create. So creative job aside, if your soul isn't getting the opportunity to create in this life the way it really wants to, the way it yearns to, then we're going to feel bored, because in those moments, it's not expressing through you the way it wants to express through you. We're blocking that creative energy. So boredom is a call to movement, but not movement for the sake of it, movement to reconnect us with that deeper part of ourselves, that deeper part that's yearning for alignment. because that's what these emotions are really guiding us towards. Boredom, frustration, anything else like that, it's all trying to bring us back into alignment. This sense of being in flow with the invisible but very real current of life that our soul has chosen. So the internal and the outer external both aligned, and with us flowing in harmony with this natural current. In this current, when we're actually aligned with this, it's like your inner state shifts completely. Your inner state goes from one feeling this sense of resistance and contraction to one being expansive and really in awe of the play that we're all part of and the opportunity we have to create. Because when we have these limiting blocks in our minds, which tell us that we should do this and we should do that, we can easily end up doing the type of work in our lives which creates these difficult emotions. But like I said, these emotions are really just guiding mechanisms, allowing us to see where it is that we're not quite in alignment with our soul's deeper desires. And so the aim is obviously to be in this higher state of being, which is actually our natural state. It's not a case of becoming a better version of yourself to achieve this state. You are always that state. The only thing to do is to let go of these layers, these beliefs that you should be something else. That's actually blocking you from experiencing that higher state of being, your higher state of being, right now in this moment. So next time you're feeling frustrated, and next time you're feeling bored, with your work in particular, just take some time just to allow yourself to feel it. Don't suppress these emotions. And try and listen, because somewhere they're trying to guide you towards yourself. They're trying to tell you something. And the best thing we can do is just take the time and see what they have to say.